1, 2, 3, play. All right. Hello, this is Scratch, and that's Dennis, and this is Hidden Community Cup Jean Bureau Bracket, the last game of the group stage between Darren in the blue trunks as the Georgians and LotsWaifu in the red trunks as the Poles. Dennis, what do you think about this matchup on slopes?
Yeah, I mean, Darren has had 2 wins so far, going into the last game, probably already qualified. I am not quite clear about LotsWaifu's standings right now, but I'm sure I'll edit in that in the screen. But essentially now, LotsWaifu, regardless, will want to end the set on a positive note, and that's probably what they're playing for. It's more fun. I don't know if there's much in the way of results changing, but if it is, it's more to for LotsWaifu, who will be looking to uh,
Progress,
progress. Yeah,
possibly.
I mean, I guess in one way, Darren can still be looking to progress. Uh, because if Carabest and Darren are tied on points, the first place player typically will go up against a stronger opponent in the semi-final. Or at least the winner from the other group. So maybe that's something to play for. But I don't know if they are thinking that much about it right now. There's two cav sieves on slopes, and they are set to go. I do like
Yes,
that
because
LotsWaifu is unapologetically having his own build order with
yep,
the 3 houses and kind of lining them up. Yeah.
it's really good, and they've done it every single game. I wonder if Darren's familiar with the Georgians and Armenians because they just did a little bit of scouting with the. It was cool, but then I remember the mule.
Scratch, I don't know if you want to fix it during the cast, but you're actually getting cut off. I don't know if that's something that's happening even from your side. Okay, I think we lost Scratch. I'll just carry on right now then. So yeah, we have Darren in the blue, and we can see that Georgians have kind of a good stone and gold positions in the back. I think it's kind of similar for LotsWaifu, but the wall off is not as easy, or maybe this also is not as easy, but it just the stone in the back just seems clear. Hey, Scratch, you're back.
Okay, I don't know what that was. If I drop again, just carry on without me, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I know you got a time crunch, so I just didn't ask for a restart or something.
What I was trying to say is I'm curious if Darren is familiar with the Armenians and the Georgians because they tried to do some scouting preliminarily with their mule cart, it looked like, and then I found out, and I'm assuming Darren did as well, that the mule cart can't convert sheep, or in this case, geese.
Oh yeah. But mule cart is definitely nice, especially on slopes, right? Because if you want to just move to the sides to take wood, you just move the mule cart. You don't have to put another lumber camp or something like that. So that's kind of nice for the Georgians.
I keep waiting for Darren to start chopping wood, and it's not happening yet.
I mean, I think Darren's gonna realize when he's housed. Wait, actually, he has all the houses necessary. Maybe he'll only realize once he goes to Feudal Age and doesn't really have the wood for barrack and stable.
Okay,
I'm assuming
we
stable.
Are moving to. We are moving to a lumberjack. Now, does the mule cart count as a building?
No, it doesn't. It's basically a mobile lumber camp. That's how I look at it.
But it doesn't count towards age up.
No, it doesn't. Oh wait, it should.
Does it? Okay. Yeah, maybe then that explains why they were so late to wood. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, this barracks is going to be pretty late, I think.
I mean, for Feudal Age, you don't really need a building, right? Do you?
Yeah, you need 2 buildings. You need 2 buildings to go up to each age.
Oh, I guess it's just the build that we always have those, so I forgot.
Yeah, you just happen to
build a mill and lumber camp. Yeah, that's true.
But I guess if the mule cart counts as a building, which I think you're correct.
It should, yeah.
Then the mill, since the Georgians spawn with one, they only have to build a mill.
True. But I think Georgians also start with less food, and the mule cart costs food as well. So maybe there's some balancing there. But yeah, I think Georgians should be really good. I think I prefer Georgians over the Poles because you don't really get the amount of space you need to use the full works. You need to be more defensive to be able to get the full work set up to get that food bonus with Poles. Uh, Poles do get gold when they mine stone. It doesn't look like that's a bonus that LotsWaifu's got planned at the moment. I think it's mostly about the farms and potentially. Yeah.
Darren went up to feudal age with 15 villagers.
Oh, wait, Darren didn't click up yet for me.
What?
Darren hasn't clicked up on my screen.
Am I crazy?
It's 17 population, now queuing up the 18th villager. Darren is in blue, right?
Yeah, but like they're in feudal age. Look at their buildings.
Are you actually... Wait, I'm sorry. No, you're right. He clicked long before. I just missed it completely.
Yeah,
He's already in feudal.
He got to feudal age at 15 villagers.
Okay, alright, let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, so much for me saying that Darren will not have wood. Went up with 15 villages and still has the wood for it, so kinda worked out.
I like that Darren and LotsWaifu are both doing the 4-house inline strategy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, this has got to be some kind of
Rasa berzanipt.
wacky build order for both of these players. Poles are getting gold, so maybe like some attempt at a fast castle. We do have some spearmen coming out of the barracks because the scouts spooked them, which I like. Good reaction. We're getting forging on a military that doesn't exist, but we're thinking of grabbing some scouts. I think Darren wants to just rush this down.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, LotsWaifu has a couple of pointy boys right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough if Bloodlines kicks in, or just the amount of scouts. Maybe they can take the fight. I'm not really sure.
I like that we're maneuvering the pointy boys towards the gold. That is a lot of houses.
Yep.
It's a good wall, but like that's a lot of resources.
Yeah, right now Lotswaifu doesn't really have a stable to make their own scouts,
Okay.
and having all these houses just means that you don't really have the wood. I mean, as I say that, actually, yeah, they don't really have the resources for wood, so and the scouts are going forward for Darren, so we are gonna probably have our first will kill. It's a question of whether it's gonna be in the berries. They run straight under the TC, but there's no one under the TC, so Darren's
The response is good though. The spearmen are coming in, and the villagers are pulled back. Good stuff. And we're immediately queuing more spearmen. This is actually really good from last fight. Really good reaction.
yes, but
Now we are chasing scouts, which is always less than ideal.
and also you don't
spinning
really
them
have
up.
your own stable, which means you're gonna build a lot of pikes, which wouldn't have any counter raiding potential, right?
Okay, we got some arrow fire from the TC. All told, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I like that Darren all this time is queuing builds, but of course, cast occurs, you immediately Darren's
Yep, he
idle
immediately.
TC.
Now, one thing that LotsWaifu could do to improve this is remember that villagers can fight back. These are not upgraded scouts. They have upgraded his hack, but you can still do damage to them. There we go, there's one. And that next one might go, or be... Okay, pretty good. Oh, he's coming. He's a suicidal scout. Okay. That was actually a really good defense. We only lost... We lost 3 villagers. I don't think those 3 could have been prevented.
Actually, if LotsWaifu just defends now, can buy their way to a faster castle age with knights, and that could be strong.
If they had a market.
If they have the buildings for it too. So yeah, I think wood is an issue.
Oh,
But
we've got a scout on the enemy base. Now, I agree about the full work. I actually think that LotsWaifu has a pretty good base for full works where they are. The concern though is being this open against another clearly cavalry favored player.
Yep.
We're thinking in archery range. Okay.
And if I'm playing as Poles against Georgians, I'm always thinking of the Monaspa that's eventually going to show up on my base, right?
True.
So I think the pikes are going to be good, but I think eventually you need to have the eco and raiding potential as well. You can't always defend against Georgians. Georgians get a lot of eco bonuses, especially after hitting Castle Age, because anything around, I mean, there's the small tiled radius around the churches that they set up. The eco around that area is boosted by a percentage, so that's going to be really boosting the economy. And Monaspa, I mean, there's some nerfs with the set of groups needed to get the extra attack bonuses, but their creation time was a little bit slowed down, but I think they are still pretty strong with the fortified churches kind of bringing that eco boost in Castle Age. So
now, I didn't want to interrupt, but while shortly after that attack, LotsWaifu sent their scout around Blue's base, and I thought that was really cool. We saw an archery range. We immediately built our own archery range in response and queued up some skirmishers. Good stuff.
I think that is...
It's a little overinvestment, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because I think the timing for the archers to get the fletching and come forward after a scout rush is going to be slow enough that LotsWaifu could have just saved spending those food resources on the skirms and just gone up the castle and then used knights to clean them up. But
yeah, this spear attack is a little awkward. I'm not sure if maybe that was a misclick. That went bad. I agree regarding the seeing an archer range after scouts. You can probably avoid having to, but hey, Darren's getting fletching as we say that, so...
Yeah, I think it's just that LotsWaifu made the wrong decision of going skirms and still hasn't clicked up, right? Right now should have already used the market to go up the castle, but the market's going down only now. Had the wood for it for a while, so it's
I don't think it's necessarily a bad play, the skirmishers. I definitely think it's a reactionary play. If maybe we'd thought about it a little bit more, we wouldn't have made that call.
Yeah, this scout's gonna get a lot of kills. I mean, Georgian Cav also healed, so I think Darren could have just taken the fight with the skirms and run away if the scout HP got low, but Darren chooses not to. But Darren is faster. I mean, only by a little bit to Castle Age.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do a full wall up, which I like. I don't know, this is a really improved... I would say this is a lot of improvement from LotsWaifu. We've got double stables coming down en route to Castle Age.
It is to be noted that last time we saw LotsWaifu, you gave LotsWaifu a challenge of 60 villagers. So
yes, a challenge that we realized shortly after was impossible. So we're amending that live on the cuff to, I think we said 60 villagers by 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought you mentioned this to LotsWaifu already.
I believe I did.
Oh, you did?
I may have.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the wood lines for... I mean, there is a wood line within the walls for LotsWaifu, so I think that should be fine. And with the military yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say, I like this full work that's nestled at the back of the base. We can't get all of it because of the wood line, but I'm sure that wood line's going to go away eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have the perfect farming setup, but the attempt is there to have all the farms around the folwarks and also to defend it by kind of walling around with a base around the farming eco, so that's really good. I think skirms and pikes are going to be harder to control as Georgians come in with gold units, so I think there needs to be a transition of LotsWaifu thinking what the next step is going to be, and right now the next step is knights, and
I think that's correct. Yeah, both are grabbing bloodlines. It's weird. We're seeing Darren get a lot of unit upgrades, but then they want to boom out their economy as well. So maybe they're realizing they can't quite afford what they want to do. But they are going crossbowmen. I love this from LotsWaifu. This is a great wallop. Not an aggressive wallop, but we're not really against an aggressive opponent here. I'd say sufficient maybe, but the fact that it's happening and it's happening gradually, we're not over investing 12 villagers into walling this up in a panic.
I do like the siege workshop, given that LotsWaifu saw the scouts from sorry, they saw the archers from Darren, but given that you're up against, ooh, now I'm not really so sure about it. I mean, especially because this is a very defensive siege workshop if you're going for rams, and rams are very slow. So
it's true. They've got a lot of ground to cover, and I don't know if knights can't even get in rams, can they?
No, only archers and pikes can, and only pikes would actually boost the stats for the rams. So yeah. But LotsWaifu is going forward. Yeah, go for it.
I think these rams are going to come out of the wrong side of the siege workshop. Yeah, they're coming all the way down.
Oh, that's beautiful from Darren.
That's frustrating.
Who actually used the height, the what is that?
Hill.
The hill, yes. Thank you. But yeah, Darren is booming it out. Right now already has 11 villagers up. I mean, the military lead is for LotsWaifu at the moment, but you need to count, make the military count by attacking. Could potentially stop the third TC from Darren, because the knights are here and it's just 2 villagers.
No, hit the villager. There we go. They can definitely deny them. 1, 2. Those 2 knights are not going to be enough. I actually think that LotsWaifu can clean that up. Oh, I like that we're staying mobile. That's good.
Yeah, I like the activity.
Move closer to the.
I like the quick attempt of a wall up as well from the. Oh, I really like that. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, these are knights. You need to send your own knights to fight against them. Otherwise, yep, this is gonna happen.
I feel like
I think
watched the Viper a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Darren Quickwall in this tournament, right? But
I believe so, yeah.
But I definitely think the army should be fighting here. The knights are just standing idle for Darren, and it's kind of...
Now this is a dangerous attack from LotsWaifu. I like seeing them pull back to just focus on villagers. This is awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your knights. You want to keep your knights alive and increase your knight numbers. I think that's the way you would want to overwhelm your opponent. I like that. I mean, it'd be nice to have monks to heal them up, or just. I don't know. I don't know about the skirms though. I really think that's incorrect.
Well, I mean, his opponent has crossbowmen. Skirms are the obvious answer to that. I don't think they're the correct answer at the moment. I think a mangonel would do much better. But you know. Yeah, I think the skirmishers being the knee-jerk reaction, it's not the worst reaction to have. But I will say LotsWaifu does seem a little formless right now. We aren't sure what we're trying to do. We're trying to do a little bit of everything, and I think it's starting to hurt.
Yeah, I mean...
we are worrying about villagers, which is good. Okay, we've loaded up the boys into the battering rams. Oh, so a little surprise for the knights. Okay, I dig it. We've got to have our knights take out those crossbowmen, though, before they get killed. Good maneuvering. LotsWaifu, you're 421 elo. What is this?
How many minutes are you at right now?
31:41.
Okay. Because the fight engagement just started, so I was
Yep.
confused.
Okay, we're going after the house. I don't have a problem with that.
No, I think this is all gonna get cleared up by Darren. This is kind of why I didn't really like the skirm choice, because I think it's gonna be, as I say that.
Yeah, this is an awkward fight for both players.
I mean, the knights can clear up the skirms, the archers can clear up the pikes. It's just that I don't think they're focusing down the units. So it's getting a little hard for Darren, but Darren had the better.
While you're saying that, I did get to see LotsWaifu change targets about 2 or 3 different times. That was actually really good micro there. This knight's gonna die. That was actually really good. I agree. I think Darren had the advantage there, but boy, did they not earn it. Losing the 2 battering rams really hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Darren, if you're watching this, I'd definitely say, going scum against scum is a good idea, but then you're also opening up for a counter attack because, like I said, scums don't really add offensive potential. Like, you need a lot of scums to kill one villager.
Pause it.
So,
Pause.
pause? Okay.
Pause.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with
All
it
right.
because.
We've got some scuff. Both of make sure you check your hard drives, guys, before you start recording, because OBS stops automatically if you fill up your hard drive. T90, let us know, how do you hold on to so many videos? You probably have staff.
So Darren's got a huge eco lead right now, and LotsWaifu doesn't really have the army presence to check that, but so it really increasingly looks like a Darren's game right now.
This does definitely look like it's in Darren's favor. I think LotsWaifu is starting to think about moving out, which I like. We're grabbing a monastery, which I like as well against all these knights. I don't think LotsWaifu is completely out of this yet, but there's a time limit, yeah. Like the window I think is closing. Now we've got 2 mangonels. I really would have preferred seeing those earlier over the battering rams. In my opinion, it's very hard to make battering rams an offensive unit because they have to be babysat for so long. I like sending in battering rams when I already have an advantage, not necessarily when I'm trying to gain one. I think a mangonel is much better at that.
I mean,
oh, and we're protecting the mangonel. This is awesome. LotsWaifu. Where did all this come from? There's so much micro. He's trying. He's doing so much work.
Yeah, I would never even go for mangonels against stable units because of how hard it is to save them, but LotsWaifu's really gone for it. And +2 comes in for the knights, so and the wall up is not really. Ooh, that's gonna be dead villagers.
That's a greedy monk. That was a greedy monk.
Yeah, even if you had conversions there, I think there's like 6 knights who would still run into the base and kill a lot of villagers. So I think in the end it would be worth it for Darren with 3 TCs to keep having
We're
that
about to drop
advantage.
a castle on LotsWaifu's space too.
Yeah.
Or maybe just build a castle on the other corner so that LotsWaifu can't expand. Kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the hill bonus Trebs is a long-term castle on the hill. Maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Darren doesn't really know about the expansion on the left, so maybe that's why. One of the reasons why Darren went there was to stop LotsWaifu from expanding to the right towards the goal. But LotsWaifu now knows about the castle, and a lot of dead villagers now with the night raid, and no reaction so far in terms of army.
Well, they reacted. The problem is they had 7 or 8 pikemen, but they were disorganized. They weren't together.
Also, with the eco like this, it's kind of hard to react anyway. Like I said, I think the game's over. But...
Okay. Yeah, no, LotsWaifu, I really like this game from you, actually. We had a lot of really cool micro moments where you clearly, like, were managing your units really well. The problem is you needed more. I'll be honest, if you see knights from your opponent, build a second barracks. Just start cranking out pikemen. I like the Obooks a lot, but we need pikemen to help. The mangonels I also like a lot, even though they are up against stable units, but we need more pikemen. We need barracks. We need more pikemen.
To LotsWaifu's credit, so far, LotsWaifu has made 85 villagers this game.
Have they?
Yep, they've just lost 58. I mean, not 50, oh no, 58 kills. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's 51 villagers. Yeah.
Yes. Which, hey, that's still better than I think we've seen before.
Yeah, but I think with the low eco right now, it's and Manaspa is going to be masked. It's and rams. Yeah, rams are essentially units that you make from the forward siege workshop, and yes, and you don't really have a castle, so it's gonna start to hurt a lot more. Ooh, the 18 Manaspa already on the field, and And there is a fortified church. I mean, right now it's just boosted some farms, but it's still kind of nice to have.
Yeah, I like the production of the Manaspa coming from both castles.
Yep.
I don't like battering rams when we are so close to being able to access trebuchets, but we don't have trebuchets yet, so battering rams are fine here.
Yeah, they take down buildings way faster, so... And
Yeah.
you have the Monaspa to counter any mangonel from the opponent, and...
Really good offensive from Darren.
yeah, and the pikeman, or PSPM and whatever, doesn't really have any infantry armor right now, so... I don't think Monaspa is gonna struggle killing them. With the units that they have, I think they can just overwhelm them just with sheer numbers. Yep, I'm going to the houses now, so...
The Stranglehold. I actually really like this game from LotsWaifu, I really do. We had a lot of really cool micro moments, we just needed to work on the macro a bit here.
Yeah, I would definitely say lean towards gold units more. I mean, you can have trash units, but have it in combination with the gold unit, which can do damage. That's kind of how I would look at it. If you hop on ranked, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have like a huge boost in your elo. But just think about the fact that you need a gold unit with the trash unit, and double trash unit is just hard to make it work, at least for people in our elo.
Trash units are excellent at helping. They're great support units. If I want to start thinking about going monks or mangonels, that's a great idea. But I need a lot of pikemen to back them up, especially against this opponent. I think the intent here was good. I think Obuk's pikemen and mangonels really could have done some work here, even against the Manaspa. But unfortunately, we just kind of fell behind on our macro game a little bit. But that being said, no discredit to Darren. Darren did a great job here. This was a very well realized game. I really appreciated them attempting the scout rush, succeeding definitely somewhat. Like I think we got 3 villager kills off that, and then the archer skirmisher bit was an awkward transition. I think we should have just gone straight to Castle Age, but we did eventually move on to our second string plan of getting the castles, getting the Manaspa. We're even moving on to getting some monks and grabbing a relic.
If there's ever a get out of the game castle,
wow. This is almost rude. This is, come on, LotsWaifu, we have 2 more games to play, potentially. Yeah, so LotsWaifu, I think the primary thing that you needed to do here was we needed to get a second or maybe even a third barracks up and running as soon as we saw those knights on the field. Backing them up with skirmishers is fine, and I think that we sunk a lot of resources into the battering rams that didn't really go anywhere. I think
Trend is going to go down, so maybe it'll go down.
Yeah.
Yay! Shred went down.
Oh my gosh. Darren really wants to get out of this game.
Does Darren not know about... Oh, now Darren knows about the expansion.
Yeah, I just found it.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the GG. He was waiting for the expansion to be found. There we go. Alright. Well, that's it for me. So I think Dennis is going to take over for this next game. So we're going to go ahead and give Darren the blue dot. Really good game from both players. LotsWaifu, I think we need to work on a little bit on the macro a bit. Your micro was really good here. Darren, your execution of this plan was really good, and we have a lot of cool icing on the cake moments that I really like this wall up on the back end TC, just in case your opponent has some secret base full of scouts that might be coming your way, because you never know, that can happen. Really well executed by Darren here. Really strong. What do you think, Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, LotsWaifu did queue up 61 builds.
Yay! The attempt was there.
Yeah, I think right now, I think maybe we should have probably stressed more on the early feudal age and the gold unit composition, and kind of
Sure.
start off with some kind of spam, like how Carabest and Skit Vibe started, where they basically just
True.
master gold unit and went at the opponent. Uh, but
Yeah.
uh, but either way, it was good to have you eco running. I think, like I said, when you were up against Darren playing as Georgians, I think your composition could have been knights and pikes, or if you went skirms to counter the archers, that's fine. I don't know if skirms is fine. It's always going to be hard to, but yeah, right. I mean, I think you could have followed it up with more knight numbers. Maybe you could have it could have helped, but I think in the end, if Darren comes with pike knights, my pike knights are likely easier to control than skirm knights. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good attempt, and hopefully, in game two, we'll get to see more of a fight and
Um,
potentially more stable eco running with army behind them. I like the wall up from LotsWaifu here. But I mean, I think we also have to talk about Darren. I think Darren's always gone under the radar now.
a little
Kind
bit.
of won both his sets, kind of always produced the results, and I just think we didn't really speak about Darren as much as we probably did about Skit Vibe or DHR. Uh,
Yeah,
but
we're talking about LotsWaifu getting up to 60 villagers created, which is a huge improvement. But meanwhile, Darren's sitting over here with 90 living villagers.
True.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of icing on the cake moments here. I like the Manaspa production out of both castles. I like the wall up on that northern TC just in case. I think we were even scouting the other corner as well. We've got 28 plus farms, 30 something farms backing up this Manaspa spam. That was a really good offensive, and we stuck with it. Lots Waifu, like I said, I'm really happy to see 60 villagers. That's great. But Dennis is correct. What he's saying when he says we need a gold unit and a trash unit, in case you have not been made aware yet, because this did take me some time to figure out, units that cost gold tend to be better. It's not always true, but these are usually your game winning units. These are your units that you will use to knock over a base or mount a winning defense. Your trash units are units that don't have a gold cost, and those are going to be the bulk of your numbers, but they're not going to be contributing more than just basic support. I'd already mentioned this, but when you see those knights in late feudal age, you need to tell yourself, I need another barracks. I need two more barracks, especially with this little satellite base you got going on. I would have built 2, 3 barracks and just start bringing up some pikemen, going back to your blacksmith, getting some techs just to support your other units. Those could have been your O-books, those could have been monks, those could have been mangonels, even if your opponent was really trying to commit to this crossbowmen. And I don't necessarily think any of those is a winning combination in this regard, but my point is that Dennis is correct about having the combination of units. Going just pikes, just skirmishers, those are great units when when they are supporting another unit. So, but hey, at the end of the day, I challenged 60 villagers. We saw 61 villagers, so that's awesome. Really happy to see that. And I will not be able to see game two. That's going to be a Dennis solo venture. So in that case, I will say good night now. So good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.
That's it. I'm out.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Have a good one.
Hey, we're back for game two in this best of three set between Darren and LotsWaifu, and it looks like LotsWaifu actually has Bypass as their home map set, and Darren has picked Khmer, my favorite civ on this map. So, it's going to be interesting to see what both players think about this matchup. The way I look at Bohemians is that they have a good eco, but I think because you have palisade walls, it's fairly easy to break, so it eventually ends up being more of an aggressive game where you kind of fast castle into unique unit with a castle drop, or fast castle into siege monk push, or fast castle in some kind of an aggressive play, or it can even be a feudal play with archers because it's just palisade walls, and or tower rush. I've seen different strategies on this map, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It is a must-win game for LotsWaifu because it's Darren's already got a game on the board, and Darren is also going to be interesting. Khmer has really good farms. They are very flexible. They don't really need buildings to go up to the next stage, so which could lead to some optimized build orders with a fast castle time. Ballista elephants can cut trees in castle age, so I don't know if that was factored in when Khmer was selected. Khmer do get elephants with tusk swords, but they actually do pay full price for it, unlike the Malay, so it's not really as easily spammable as Malay elephants, so that could be more of a late game. But there's no gunpowder right now for this matchup. I think if elephants come into play, Bohemians have good monks, and they do bonus damage with their pikes, halbs, spears, whichever age the engagement happens between scouts, knights, or elephants. And they have monks to do the work as well. I would probably lean towards something like a halb, monk, siege push with Bohemians, which in Castle Age, if I were playing Bohemians. With Khmer, I think that, like I said, it's a very versatile unit, and with Ballista Elephants being able to cut through, there's a few tricks that could be used, but I think it's a lot more flexible in what can be done. I think it's just that if you go archers against Khmer, the scorpions could help, and they can also respond in time with fast up times. I don't know what they will eventually go for. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. And in terms of gold positions, the gold is fairly forward, but I don't really expect a castle drop or anything like that. At least so far, we've not really seen such effort to mine the stone and walk all the way around the sides. And that was a nice Borlo, by the way. And it's a nice Borlo for LotsWaifu as well. And their idle eco looks right about similar. And I like the houses over here because, like I said, a feudal rush is possible. It is a little early for it, but it's still nice to see that LotsWaifu has incorporated his signature 4 houses in a very strategically defensive position. It doesn't look like there's going to be anyone housed as I say that. I mean, there's 2 more villages that can be queued before the house can be dropped, so I think that should be fine. In terms of scouting, so far, LotsWaifu has actually scouted the sides of the base, but somehow has missed the... Actually can see the sheep, just hasn't really gone back to grab them. In terms of scouting for Darren, we have... Oh, Darren actually has picked up all the sheep and has also moved to scout the sides, and you can see that scouting really plays a big role here in boosting your scores in early game, so never feel bad about scores increasing or decreasing in early game, especially before you start committing to army and doing some kind of army fights. I'll usually judge the position of the game based on the villages that I have and how my eco is set up to look like. And Darren actually grabs the 2 sheep, which LotsWaifu didn't really grab. The scout from LotsWaifu is forward, so... But there's no sheep to grab. They're essentially just scouting each other's base. Can LotsWaifu see the gold? I don't think so. I don't think the vision is there yet. But Darren has the faster feudal age, so for about 20 minutes, LotsWaifu is better off hiding the scout. Right now, actually, LotsWaifu can grab the sheep that was stolen, as Darren just walks around. How does the sheep scouting look like? It does look like intentional scouting from LotsWaifu. That's good, and it looks like good scouting from Darren as well. So there has been an early barracks, which is interesting if Darren wanted to make pikes, because you don't really need a barracks as Khmer to drop the stable. You can directly skip the barracks and make the stable unit. So going for scouts is an interesting choice. There's no expansion so far from LotsWaifu, so it's definitely interesting to see what Darren is thinking here. No one on gold yet, and I mean it was an early feudal age from Darren, so maybe there is some kind of feudal pressure that is planned, or it's just to grab the double barracks and horse collar and bank on the builds not being perfect. And LotsWaifu also made a barracks in feudal age, expecting some kind of scout pressure. I suppose it's you could kind of credit that to knowing Khmer and being good with Cav in general as a Cav civ. But I still think that with the walls that you have by default on this map, the house walls should give you enough time, and if someone were to break through, I think you'll need again some kind of more stronger unit that you can use to counterattack and push back after killing the knights. Let's say you have pikes here and scouts show up in your base, and let's say you have more pikes as well. And I mean, credit to LotsWaifu isn't really queuing up more pikes. And actually, using pikes for scouting, that's a good use of the pikes. Pikes don't really do high base attack. They pretty much mostly do bonus damage against units. So that's kind of what most trash units are good for. They do bonus damage against units, but the base attack's pretty low, which is kind of why you need gold units. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good scouting from Darren, and okay, so this is essentially a way to say that LotsWaifu is probably looking to expand to this side. Hasn't really explored everything, but the scout did run through this side, so I guess that gives LotsWaifu the confidence to move out, but nothing so far yet. There's been a few farms from LotsWaifu, but no horse collar. So horse collar, if I can show when a new farm is seeded, you'll see that the food count that is there is going to be a certain amount, but horse collar farms is going to be double that, I believe. Okay, you can actually see this. Once this farm is built, you'll probably see how much food double a horse collar farm would look like. Maybe there's a farm. Yep, there it is. So once this is placed, 480 as an HP, and you can see 250 food for per farm. But and over here you can see it is 175. So you get 85 food per farm if you actually get horse collar. And the same way, if you actually get double barracks, you collect wood in a more optimized way. But looks like LotsWaifu's got the market. Is it the plan to use the market to go up faster? It looks like it's just a building market blacksmith into Castlage. And Khmer farms kind of are very strong. You can see the way the food drop-off works with Khmer farms. As soon as you drop it, the speed at which the food eco keeps rolling is very, very strong. And nothing really done out of the stable yet, but probably planning something in Castlage. imagine if this is Elephant Rush from Khmer. That'll be interesting. I mean, we've seen Malay elephants twice now. Once from One Wolf Fan and another from, I believe, Shatlax Pizza. I'm not sure if I'm getting this right. Comment down below. I don't remember exactly. But, yep, Darren has clicked up, and LotsWaifu has actually beaten Darren to Castle Age. And there is a building going up. Second barracks, again. I don't hate it, but as long as you have something that could... Let's say you expect knights to run through with your pikes, because you are queuing up most spearmen. What I would suggest is to have like pikes with monks for converting the knights, because I mean, it's gonna be pikes can do pretty well, but having monks always helps to even heal up the spears or pikes, and it's also good to have siege. So if you're actually going for double barracks, also have something with them, be it a mangonel as a siege which would do damage to the opponent walls, or monks which would convert enemy units. I mean, especially if there's ballista elephants coming through, I think pikes wouldn't really do so much. I think monks and mangonels would be the way. There's a lot of houses going through, 35 out of 40, I think, and oh, this is sad. Would the house die or would the villager die? Comment down below before LotsWaifu decides what needs to happen. Castle Age comes up, and what is the plan? Double stable. Ooh, is it? Oh, it is, but it is. Oh, it is battle elephants. I did say that it's going to be hard to mass, but with Khmer farms, you could maybe make some amount of elephants, and they do get upgraded more with the second armor and things like that. But like I said, it's not as easily spammable. You can already see that Foodika is kind of getting defeated, but there is scope to seed more farms right now. Darren's got the second TC going, so the eco is going to be good. The pikeman's coming up, but I think now LotsWaifu needs to have some monks, because I think with the amount of elephants, with the amount of upgrades that are there, I don't think LotsWaifu can do too much. But maybe, I mean, you don't really know, right? I think as a caster, I know that elephants are coming in, but LotsWaifu doesn't really know. But maybe the barracks helps. I think armor would help too. Yeah, actually, I don't mind it. I mean, I think if LotsWaifu fails, kudos to the composition. I mean, it's. Do you have? Here's, I think, pikeman upgrade, right? Yeah. So you have the upgrade for the infantry. You get +1 armor. You get +2 as well, and then you get mangonel. It's definitely a composition that, and I can see the idea that is in your mind. So I kind of like it. There's no mangonels queued up, though. With so much on wood and gold, you just, I assume that there'll be some kind of. I still think. Okay, I think the one tweak that I will suggest, LotsWaifu, is with Khmer, especially with the amount of knights that they could have had. I mean, you can kind of see by the score that something's going on. Maybe it's just a boom. But if it is army, you're more likely to expect elephants or knights or archers. Honestly, the best case scenario for rams is archers right now. I don't really think even then ram is better. I think mangonel's better even in that regard. I think this start's going to go down, but at least LotsWaifu has a target to come towards with the rams, and that's what LotsWaifu is doing. But essentially, once LotsWaifu moves out, the elephants will likely show up. Ooh, the Darren is actually saw the scouts, killed it, and knew that this will be the target. So Darren is actually sending elephants to go around to protect this TC and then go to the main base. That actually could help LotsWaifu a little bit, because you might know that elephants are coming in if the rams move forward. Oh, you sending the pikes with the rams. I mean, +2. Okay, +2 is there. I mean, you don't really know that elephants are on the field. Let's see how this fight breaks out. I mean, the best case scenario right now is LotsWaifu would know about elephants and can build monks. Right now there's no monastery, but has the wood if once LotsWaifu knows about it. And even if the monastery is built and the monks weren't queued up, I would really appreciate that response. I do like that if a castle drop shows up, but I think in the end with palisade walls, it's going to be rough anyway, especially with +2 attack. I think this is okay. Pikes haven't engaged yet. Oh, Darren actually knows about hill bonuses. So always fighting downhill, getting that extra attack helps a lot. So at this point, LotsWaifu is idled. I mean, I understand, honestly. But yeah, okay. I mean, I don't think this is going to stop it. Like I said, you need mangonels and monks right now. I mean, right now, maybe mangonel also is probably late. It's actually, I think this might be already kind of hard, because if you drop a castle, I think it's all about the vision of the elephants. If the elephants even see it, it's not going to go up. Okay, also Darren is being active with elephants, which also doesn't really give a good result. And yeah, I think you don't want to trickle in the pikes. You need like a mass of pikes to take down the units, because even though pikes counter elephants, because of the sheer HP on these elephants, you need like a bigger mass. On a 1v1 fight with 2 or 3 pikemen, you might be able to do like this one, but as a group, you're gonna struggle a bit. And yeah, then some elephants are working their way over here. I mean, right now, this is probably the best way. I do think having monks would be good. Mangonels would be good, because mangonels can hit from behind the houses, whereas elephants have to break through. That is one way to look at it, but it does seem like it's a very hard thing to do for LotsWaifu. And Darren is also making 2 stables towards the expansions, so that LotsWaifu cannot run away. Having reinforcements through the stable is a really, really good idea. And honestly, Darren's put up a very, very strong performance, and this is honestly good reaction. I mean, at this point, what else can be done right now? You need the pike mass. Your eco's idle, so I still think the game's likely over. I mean, with monks, you may be able to convert the elephants and then do counterattack with the elephants with the opponent, right? Right now, that's not the potential with the pikes, but it's going to be a rough spot either way. Imperial is not what you want to be, especially with just 10 villages right now. But keep playing the game, LotsWaifu, and you kind of be able to judge what needs to be done to get map control. And like I said, once elephants are through and inside your base, without monks, you're gonna, even if you take the pikes, your eco is completely idle all the time. And Darren is just massing elephants right now, so not really going for anything but elephants, but soon there's going to be unique units running through. potentially siege workshop with rounds they can also run through, but yeah, I think these pikes are killing a lot of units, but I think now you have only 8 villagers. I think soon the elephant will just run underneath your castle. I don't think you have murder holes. University, because I mean, why would you? You're also playing attack everywhere. Here's alright. Honestly, I think that the equals I don't accept these villages. There's one big farmer trusting this castle. I mean, even if the threat comes up to you, for example, the elephants would just take them out, even if they lose 2 or 3 elephants in the process. Darren has the ego to the finish. So, yeah. I mean, to Darren's credit, really good to cut off the expansion. And this is cutting off expansion is something that I generally struggle with, so it's actually really good. And you have the Imperial Age, but you don't really have the gold to produce threats, you know. So it's kind of you are an Imperial, but you can't really make anything which are Imperial units. So yeah, I think it's a rough position right now. You did what you could, but it's just not your day. I think I did start covering the set after the R base stream, so kind of had an idea of how this was gonna go, but it was really good attempt. And it's amazing that you have another bracket that you're actually going to go for as well. So the unofficial second bracket where you're playing some knockout rounds. Hope you have one there, but I think this should be probably Darren's also in. Once Darren's in, probably LotsWaifu will call it. This will likely be LotsWaifu's last game in the tournament, so just playing it out a little bit more, expanding by killing the walls. But given how active Darren has been with the elephants, I don't think he'll be given enough time to boom back into the game. Even if you have the wood, stone, and gold over here. I mean, especially because I didn't see a monastery yet, and I think that's the only way you can come back in is to go all in into block printing and convert these elephants and attack with them. But yeah, I think this is GG. GG is called, and good luck next. That's really good sportsmanship, and that's a really dominant performance from Darren, honestly. I mean, an elephant rush, when you can't really necessarily scout it. You can expect it and prepare for it, but it's always going to be a hard position. But yeah, I think bypass in general is not a boomy map, so I've seen a lot of games pretty much go all in like this, and very well done by Darren. Congratulations on being in the top of your group, and you're going up against Kit Vibe. Wait, no, you're going up against DHR, I believe. DHR, who is also, I think, the first or second seed in the initial group stage when they came into the tournament. Scratch mentioned that DHR has played a lot of games, so that's going to be a really exciting game to look forward to. We do have 1 week break in the Jean Bureau bracket, so that's going to be a relaxing weekend, and then we'll hop right back in to the semifinals of this Jean Bureau bracket, where we have Darren, Skit Vibe, who are the top players in their respective groups, and DHR and Carabest are the second in their respective groups. The first in the group goes up against second in the other group. So it's going to be a really good matchup, and a lot of good storylines that it'll be good to see how these players play up against one another. How Group A stacks up against Group B. That would also be something that'll be interesting to see. And yeah, hope you enjoyed these games, and see you in the knockout stages of this tournament. Good night.